Over the years, I've been asked many weird questions. I think the one that stands out the most is, can hard wax oil be applied to the external hull of a boat? Even though it's water resistant, I wouldn't recommend it.
The weirdest question I've been asked about hard wax oil is, does it actually come hard in the tin? No, think wax oil that dries hard.
Somebody once asked me if it could be used on a sauna because of the waterproofing side of it. The weird part is we actually don't need to waterproof saunas, but yeah, it will work on that situation.
I think the weirdest question someone's asked me is it an oil?
Duh.
My favourite in the hard wax oil range is Silk. It gives a really soft bounce of light and is just the perfect sheen in my opinion.
Matte is clearly my favourite product at Fiddes Australia.
My personal favourite is Silk, simply because it is an in-between sheen level. So it's not too flat, it's not too shiny. So you've got the option of going flatter or shinier. So yeah, Silk is my favourite.
Ultra Oil is my favourite because it really enhances the natural colours in the blonder timbers.
My personal favourite is the colour that the Ultra Raw gives you, but I like a little bit more of a sheen on top, so I'd probably go with maybe a satin over the top of the Ultra Raw.
Number one feature of hard wax oil is definitely the ease of use. You can use it on any timber surface and is DIY friendly as well as being suitable for any trade professional.
The number one feature of hard wax oil, in my opinion, is that it just looks awesome when it's applied. I could talk about coverage rates, I could talk about ease of use, but no, it just looks fantastic when it's finished.
So the number one feature is a tricky answer for me. I have two, if I'm allowed to say so. So it is definitely the coverage rate for me because it is double that of other coating systems, but also the fact that it is food safe. So yeah, I'm going to cheat and say two.
Definitely for me, I think it would be the spread rate, as opposed to our other opposition products, which would be probably about half. So ours does double.
I personally think the number one feature of hard wax oil is the food safe. I think that's really important nowadays with a lot of people and a really good selling point.
The way I would describe Fiddes is innovative, award-winning and fun.
Innovative, fun, family.
I would describe Fiddes as an innovative product. It's really easy to use and, sorry, I'm using more than 3 words. So it's innovative, it's easy, and it is really, really versatile.
Award-winning excellence.
I think when people apply hard wax oil for the first time, the biggest mistake they make is overthinking it. It's simple to use, just roll with it.
The mistake that people make when applying hard wax oil for the first time is just using too much. It's easy to apply, lightly roll it on, away you go.
In my opinion, the biggest mistake that someone would make, using hard wax oil the first time is to over-apply. It is probably one of the worst things you can do because it can just give you very undesirable results.
I think the biggest mistake they make is by underspreading. So they treat it as the previous products that I spoke about. And I think ours is just a little bit easier to use when they get that spread rate right.
I think the biggest mistake that people make, especially DIYers who are used to applying paint on furniture, going into using a timber coating, I think the biggest mistake they make is applying it way too thick like you would a paint, which you don't have to do, you just need to do it thinly.
In my opinion, the Fiddes product that deserves a little bit more love is Mellow Wax. You can apply to any previously coated finish and it just offers that little bit more nourishment.
I think the Fiddes product that deserves more love is hard wax oil.
I think the tinted hard wax oil secretly deserves more love because it is very, misunderstood with a lot of users. So it can really, really, really provide different finishes and is extremely tweakable. Tinted hard wax oil is definitely, I think, the secret weapon there.
I think Supreme Wax.
Why?
Because I think it's something that is a little more specialist and it brings out a little bit more creativity in people.
I think that Supreme Wax needs a little bit more love, only because I think it's really fun to use and it's really easy to use, and I think more people should have a go at it.
After years and years of build-up of other coating materials, we sanded it back and applied our universal decking oil in the natural oak, and it looked like it was a completely new deck. Still 3 years down the track, it looks brand new.
My proudest transformation using Fiddes products is our kitchen bench at home. We had our house for 20 years, beautiful Jarrah kitchen bench, and we thought it was as good as it can be. But we sanded it back, put Fiddes hard wax oil on, and watched the colour pop. See the grain, it just looked fantastic. And it still does 6 years later.
Well, my personal proudest transformation was a very, very, very expensive property in Sydney, New South Wales. And we were asked to go out there and do a colour matching on this grandiose staircase. It was beautifully swirled and curved. The long story short there, they had an engineered floor and the colour of it was almost olive green. So trying to match this really old orange staircase to green, and I nailed it. So yeah, extremely proud moment for me.
My proudest before and after is probably the deck that I did at my house. I'd only been working for Fiddes for a short amount of time then, and I thought, why not have a go? So I did my deck and it came out awesome, which I think is also a show of you don't have to have much experience and the products are really easy to use.
Over the years, I've spoken to many people who have loved using our products. One that really stands out is a lady that contacted me after sanding back her great-grandfather's table that needed some extra love. She wanted the right finish. I talked her through using Fiddes hard wax oil. She sent me the after photos and rang me in tears about how beautiful the table had come up.
I have many customers that come back and rave about their projects. I think the standout comment is the ease of application and how awesome the finish looks at the end.
I do, and the first thing they say is just how easy it is to use and the drying times, and the end result just looks beautiful for them.
The myth I'd love to bust about timber finishes is that they're all the same. They're similar, but they're not quite the same, with hard wax oil being the easiest one to use.
I'd love to bust the myth about timber finishes, that it's hard to use. Just get in there, give it a go, and you'll see that the outcomes are fantastic for little effort.
There are a few, but I would say that the one that I'd love to bust is that they are all the same, and which they're definitely not.
That they're all the same and that they get the same results. It's not true.
I would love to bust that it's hard. I think a lot of people get in their heads about it and they think that it's not paint, so it's going to be really hard, but it's actually really easy.
The one tip I'd give you on using hard wax oil is always using a good quality brush and a short nap microfiber roller.
The one tip that I would never apply hard wax oil without would be just to keep stirring it. It says it on the tin. I'm not a big tin reader. I sort of avoid instructions, but as you apply, give it a stir.
My personal opinion would be the one tool you really, really need when you are applying hard wax oil is a paint tray.
Microfiber roller, very low nap.
I would never go to apply hard wax oil without a stirrer. It is really important that you're mixing it first before you're applying it, and it'll help with your finish.
I would say preparation is key.
I wish DIYers just knew how easy it was.
I think that DIYers really, really need to know the do's and don'ts before starting a timber finishing project. I would say that it would be from the preparation of the timber to the aftercare, so the beginning to the end, the do's and don'ts.
I think that prep is the most essential part of their job, and technique.
It's not that hard. Don't overthink it. You can do it. You don't need to be professional. It's DIY friendly and you'll be fine.